Why it would suck to be born as a naked mole rat. It's dark. It's cramped. It's hot. And something is kicking you in the face. You don't know who, but you hate them already. Suddenly, you're shoved out into the world, slimy, blind, and looking like something that just lost a bet with evolution. Congratulations! You are a naked mole rat pup, and your life is immediately a disaster. The first thing you notice is that you cannot see a thing. The second thing you notice is that you cannot hear a thing. The third thing you notice is that you're covered in a bunch of other squirming, pink, wrinkly siblings, and there are way too many of them. Your mother, the queen of this underground horror show, has just given birth to over a dozen pups. But do not expect love or affection. She's not here to coddle you. She is the ruler of this mole rat empire, and she has more important things to do than deal with your personal struggles. You, on the other hand, are just one of many tiny sausage-shaped minions destined to serve her for the rest of your miserable life. The colony you were born into is a network of tunnels beneath the earth, and it's an absolute anarchy. The air is stale, the walls are damp, and the temperature fluctuates between baking in an oven and freezing in a crypt. You live in an underground basement that never sees the sun, and, spoiler alert, you will never, ever leave. Your childhood is a blur of struggling for milk while being trampled by your siblings, all of whom are just as weak and confused as you. The older worker rats shove you aside without hesitation. Nobody cares that you're new here. You are shoved, stepped on, possibly chewed on by accident, and every attempt to cry out for help is drowned out by the collective noise of the colony existing. You are not special. You are not precious. You are just another wrinkly meat bean trying not to suffocate under the weight of your siblings. You either figure out how to wiggle your way to survival or get buried under a pile of other newborns. And if you thought you had free will in this world, think again. Your mother, the dictator queen, produces hormones that literally control your brain. The moment you're old enough, you'll be chemically brainwashed into your future job. If you're small and pathetic, you are a worker. If you are large and aggressive, you are a soldier. But if you are a little too ambitious, the queen will snap you in half before you even think about overthrowing her. Your diet, pure nightmare fuel. Food is scarce underground, so meals usually consist of whatever root vegetables the foragers find. You also find out that the colony recycles food in the most horrifying way possible. If a mole rat eats something, digests it and poops it out, the others eat the poop to absorb the leftover nutrients. And yes, you will be eating poop too. Every bite is an assault on your dignity. You try to tell yourself it's not that bad, that it's just pre-chewed food, but deep down, you know. You know. As you grow, life does not get any better. You spend most of your days digging tunnels with your teeth. Yes, your front teeth are basically shovels attached to your face, and you use them to chew through dirt for hours on end. There's no escape from this labor. There are no vacations, no breaks, and no weekends. Just dig, eat, poop, repeat. And then the threats start coming. Your tunnels are not safe. Snakes love naked mole rats. They see your colony as a 5-star restaurant, and the second they find an opening, they slither in and start swallowing your friends whole. The soldiers, basically the security guards of this nightmare, try to fend them off, but the rest of you panic and flee, trampling over each other in a stampede of blind, hairless chaos. Someone bites your tail in sheer terror. Another mole rat trips and faceplants directly into your side, sending you both rolling into a tangled mess of screaming, wrinkled bodies. You do not even know if you're running in the right direction anymore. All you know is that you must keep moving or you will be next. If you're lucky, you make it to safety. If you're not, well, you just became someone's lunch. But even if you avoid being eaten, there's still the constant struggle for oxygen. Since you live underground, fresh air's not really a thing. Sometimes the carbon dioxide levels get so high that other mammals would straight up die. But not you, because naked mole rats have evolved to switch their metabolism and survive in low oxygen environments. Sounds cool, right? No, it is awful. Instead of relying on glucose like a normal mammal, your body starts burning fructose for energy, which is the biological equivalent of running a marathon fueled only by fruit juice and despair. You do not pass out from suffocation, but you feel like garbage until the air quality improves. And speaking of feeling terrible, your body is a mess. Naked mole rats are cold-blooded, which means your body temperature depends entirely on your surroundings. 1 second, you're freezing. The next, you're sweating like you just caught your wife going through your phone. You cannot shiver, you cannot pant, you just have to sit there suffering until your colony moves somewhere warmer. As you reach mid-adulthood, you start realizing a terrible truth. That this is your life. Forever. There is no promotion, no retirement, no change of scenery. You will never see the sun, never feel the wind, never know what it's like to run freely across open land. Your entire existence is digging, eating, and avoiding death in a dirt prison that smells like old potatoes and recycled feces. And just when you think it cannot get worse, you realize the queen has been mating again. That means more babies, more hungry, squealing, squirming siblings, more mouths to feed, more work to do, more tunnels to dig. You thought the struggle would ease as you got older, but it never does. Because in a naked mole rat colony, you do not live, you serve. You've been alive for a few years now, which is an impressive achievement considering everything in your dirt-ridden existence has been actively trying to kill, starve, or trample you since birth. By now, you're one of the older workers, which means you've dug enough tunnels to reach the center of the earth and eaten enough feces to become literally a walking piece of shit. Your teeth have worn down, your bones ache, and yet you keep working. But something is different now. Rebellion is stirring up in the colony. The queen, your absolute ruler, tyrant, and hormonal overlord, is getting old. Her spine, once long and powerful, has begun to hunch. She moves slower, her pheromones are weaker, and for the first time in your miserable life, there's change in the air. Every other female worker in the colony suddenly feels like they could be queen material. And that means only one thing. The colony is about to turn into a lawless battlefield. It starts subtly. Side-eyes, passive-aggressive nudges in the tunnels, a little too much tail bumping when squeezing past each other. Then it escalates. One day, while you're gnawing through yet another tunnel, like a corporate drone working overtime with no pay, a fight breaks out in the royal chamber. And when naked mole rats fight, they do not play. The would-be queens lunge at each other, rolling through the dirt, biting, scratching, and screeching like unhinged goblins. You stand frozen as a cloud of furless chaos erupts in front of you. Teeth are flying, ears are getting torn off, somebody just lost a toe. The old queen, now a shrinking figure in the madness, does not even get a grand exit. One of the stronger females grabs her by the face, shakes her like an old sock, and that's it. The dictator has fallen. No grand farewell, no final words, just an unceremonious, brutal dethroning. One moment she's a dictator. The next, she's a pile of bones waiting to be stepped over. The rest of the colony does not even pause to acknowledge the murder they just witnessed. Business as usual. You just witnessed a coup. And now the victor must consolidate power. The new queen, fresh off violently unaliving her predecessor, immediately begins crushing all opposition. If you even look at her the wrong way, she'll chomp down on your head until you stop existing. The pheromones kick back in, and just like that, you forget you ever had dreams of something different. With the rebellion crushed, the colony settles into the usual routine, except now the new queen is on a warpath. She starts breeding like an absolute maniac, popping out more babies than the colony can handle. And guess what? That means more work for you. More tunnels, more food to gather, more poop to eat. At this point, you've been alive long enough to know there's no escape. But then, something unexpected happens. A completely different and strange feeling. A feeling you've never felt before. It's not hunger. It's not fear. It's not even the deep existential dread that comes with knowing you will die underground having never seen the sky. No, my friend. You are in love. It happens unexpectedly. One moment, you're chewing through a root, minding your own miserable business. And the next, you lock eyes, or at least the blind mole rat equivalent of locking eyes, with her. Her name? Irrelevant. You cannot speak, and she cannot speak, and names are pointless when your entire existence is digging, eating, and surviving. But she's there, and she is beautiful. Well, as beautiful as a naked, wrinkly, dirt-covered rodent can be. Your heart, which, scientifically speaking, does not even beat that fast because mole rats have a ridiculously slow metabolism, skips a beat anyway. You have heard the legends. Love in the mole rat colony is forbidden. There's only one female who's allowed to breed, and that is the queen. If the queen even suspects you've been making googly eyes at another mole rat, she'll crack your tiny skull open faster than your paycheck vanishes. But you cannot help it. Every time you pass her in the tunnels, your tails graze just slightly. Every time you dig side by side, you feel the warmth of her wrinkly, hairless body near yours. And every time you catch her chewing a root, your tiny naked chest swells with affection. And then it all goes wrong. One day, while sneaking a secret moment with your beloved, you hear a sound that freezes your blood. The hiss of a snake. You turn just in time to see it slithering into the tunnel. A hungry, cold-blooded nightmare that has been waiting for the perfect chance to strike. You are standing right in front of it. There's no time to run. The snake lunges, jaws unhinged, aiming right for your face. But then, your beloved shoves you aside. Before you can even process what is happening, you watch her get swallowed whole. Gone, just like that. The tunnel feels emptier. The air feels colder. Your heart, which you previously did not even realize cared about anything, feels like it's been chewed up and spit out like yesterday's root. You tried to tell yourself she would want you to move on, but deep down, you know, she was your only joy in this wretched dirt prison, and now she's gone. You stare in horror, your tiny, useless mole rat eyes unable to process the level of trauma you just experienced. The snake slithers away, full and satisfied, and you are left alone in the dark. You do not cry. You do not scream. You just keep digging. Because there's nothing else you can do. Years pass, your body gets slower, your teeth wear down to nubs. Your tunnel digging pace drops. The younger mole rats start bumping into you impatiently, muttering about how you're holding up the line. You realize that you have become the burden. And in a naked mole rat colony, there's only one way out. One day, as you shuffle through the tunnels, you feel a strange tightness in your chest. You stop, you breathe. You try to keep moving, but your legs refuse. You collapse in the dirt. No one stops. The other mole rats just walk right over you, business as usual. Your body stiffens, your breathing slows. And as the colony continues on without you, you finally understand the great truth of being a naked mole rat. You were born in the dark. You lived in the dark. And now you will die in the dark. And nobody will care. Except for the scavengers, who will eat your body like it's a slightly expired sandwich. And that, my friend, is why it would absolutely suck to be born as a naked mole rat.